data, uh, our objective is to give an insight to the supplier who wants to know which city is most profitable to invest in current stage. So we have to provide an insight to the client using this data. So as we as we can see in this measures field that each city is coming as a separate column. And if you remember earlier in our data exploration videos that we should have one single column for all the cities listed. So what we need to do is to modify the dataset again. And what we'll do so what we can do is to create a single column for all the cities. So for this we'll use a pivoting option given by Tableau. So what pivoting data is a technique of data shaping that rotates data from a state of rows to a state of columns. Like for example, suppose you have the number of devices sold by quarter for three vendors in three separate fields. So you can pivot your data so that a vendor is in one field and the number of devices sold is in another field. So likewise, we'll have a field for cities in one column and another field will be for a profit margin. So let's see how does it work. We'll select all the four columns. We'll right click. They click on pivot. See now, now four columns are now modified into two columns. One is city and one is a profit. So we'll rename these two columns again. Now let's move to sheet. Now 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 let's start the data analysis. So we'll drag the city to row and profit to column. So we'll swap the cities and profit from rows to column. So now it's showing the profit of Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Mumbai. But for this data, we have to provide analytical insights that what are the profit margins and what are the uh, what are the differences between the profit margins. So for that, we will use a box plot. Firstly, we'll have to do one thing. So we'll simply click on this analysis, and you can see that this aggregate measures is selected. So what we have to do is to deselect this aggregate measures. So this will be default. This will be checked default by default every time you and start analyzing the data into Tableau. So it's up to you when you need what kind of insight you need. So if you want to like currently we need an insight showing all the different margins, profit margins. So we don't need aggregate measures. We need all the profit margins to be seen on the data. So let's uncheck this. See, now it's distributed perfectly. You can see the profit margin 0.0226, 260, 268. So these kind of differences from different profit margins. Let's make it more clear. Yeah, now it's much better. Now let's create a box plot. Why box plot? Because box plot is also known as whisker plots. It is a great chart to use when showing the distribution of data points across a selected measures. So when you have a data also we have different profit margins. So we'll use a box plot. So you can find the box plot in this analytics field because we have to do the analysis, and for analysis table gives us the option of box plot. So we'll drag and drop it into this field. See, as we drop it in the data, it has created a box of median, mean, and quartile 1, 2, 3. So this is the minimum, this is the median, this is the Q1, Q3, and this is the maximum. So in Delhi, the percentage profit percentage lies between 5% to 8%. In Mumbai, the variation is huge. The profit margin in Hyderabad, and this is Mumbai. Sorry, in Jaipur and Delhi, the profit margins is quite stable. So, as a data analyst, what I'll suggest my client to invest in Delhi or Jaipur because the profit margins are quite stable. It's between 5 to 8. This also, if you can see, it's quite stable. The variation is low. It's quite stable. The variation is low in comparison to these two cities, Mumbai and Hyderabad. You can also see there are some leftover data in this box plot. These are called outliers. Outliers are something which are very different from the from the data data provided. So that's why box plot what box plot does that leaves out these outliers from the insightful data insights, because Boxplot consider these data not relevant for providing an insight. So that's why, because it's very different from the other percentage profit margin. So that's why it can't be used to provide a average data. So as I said, that my suggestion would be to the client to invest in Delhi or Jaipur because of the stability of the profit margin. So this is how you use Boxplot to provide a analytical data insight. If you have a different percentage of margins, profit margins, and you have a numerical value, then you have to use Boxplot. So this is how a Boxplot we have used Boxplot to provide a insight. So thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you again.